Seven hours of live streaming wasn't nearly enough. Hour 8 coming at your ass right now, live from Greta Bar. It's the first playoff edition of Pregame with Bordsy, and where else would you rather be than Greta? I could not be more stoked. Shout out to every one of you that was in the 7-hour stream today. It got crazy. It got off the rails. We raised a shit ton of money for the Ben Stelter Foundation. I just saw somebody donated $400 to end that stream. Shout out Charlie. But as Tyler kind of mentioned there, I'll say semi-Oilers talk coming here at Pre-Gaming with Bordsy. Oilers, Kings, Oilers, Part 4 coming at your ass. Hello, what up, and welcome to Pre-Gaming, brought to you by Sherwood Ford the Giant. And as you know, it's a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today because whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. We are back in our humble abode. We are back in our little nook and cranny inside Greta Bar. Everything feels right. I see Lance Kane right there wearing the best rhinestoned oilered up leather jacket you've ever seen. I see Bo over there. The bar already starting to fill up. But most importantly, I've got my pal Matthew Wozniak with me. And at 50 minutes past the hour, people, we're going to be joined by our new pre-gaming friend, Devin Dubnyk. Pre-gaming with Bordsy, pre-gaming with Doobies, and Bordsy as well. But Woz, you're here with me now. How are we doing? The vibes? Incredible in the office all day today. You and I, first one's there, bright and early, all day affair, 16-hour day. Who gives a shit when it's game one of the playoffs? Woz, we were beaming with energy. We were just giggling, excited, vibe check right now. How we feeling?
You got to set the tone. Simple as that. Just feels like just yesterday it was game one here at Stanley Cup Final here at Greta, where we're live streaming that game too. That was a lot of fun. The weather is not so hot in Edmonton. I won't lie. It's a little trippy out there, but that's why you should come to Greta. So you're not wet out there wherever you are. But we're going to have a great time, Aaron, and I'm excited to do this again with you.
I'm very, very, very excited once again. Yeah, it's doom and gloom outside right now. So where would you rather be than Greta Bar? We have all kinds of special things coming out this year. Brett, do you have the gross, disgusting photo that Kennedy decided to post to the world? Because if this doesn't tell you what it's going to be, that's Bordzy's ratchet takeover. I said to Kennedy on the drive over here today, I went, that photo's from inside my house. Who took that photo? I don't remember that. I look a little lit. It also says censored right there. Kennedy's giggling away. Gina says she's the one who took the photo. Either way, I don't remember.
You can't trust them.
Oh, well, yeah. I think they've got much worse in their drafts than of that of me. But people, only at Greta, you see it bottom right of the graphic right there. So here's the lay of the land. I'll give you the rundown for the NHL playoffs, because get used to seeing this face at this setup in this bar, because I will be pre-gaming and post-gaming from Greta Bar for not just away games, not just home games, every single game for the Edmonton Oilers playoff cup run, I'm going to say, because it is, in fact, a cup year. Thank you very much. Oh, we are fucking rocking and rolling, boys. We're ready to go. So I'm going to be here every single game. Now, we are technically... Right, we have another graphic here for the away games that shows our watch parties presented by Fountain Tire. Big shout out to them. But for all away games, we're going to be doing the watch parties, which is the full-on event, the whole nation team down here, all kinds of prizes, giveaways. The word ratchet is on that graphic because Greta came to me and they said, Bordsy, we love what we did last season, but we want to take it up a notch this year. We want to get crazy. We want to push the envelope. AGLC, please hope you're not watching this one right now, because I've got some crazy activations. The Wheel will be involved at Greta Bar on Friday specifically for that home game. So come on down today, Wednesday. Come on down every single game. We're only, I guess, selling them, marketing them as huge watch parties and events for the away games. But this is part of the reasoning with Greta Bar. They said, well, if we just get Bordsy in the building for every single game, You put 3-4 beers in me, you have me at this place. I'm going to say, give me the mic. I'm going to get on that thing, get on the bar, get on the chairs, and we're going to have an awesome, awesome time. But we've got some awesome prizes, giveaways. They also have insane specials going on for every one of these watch parties. As you see there, we also have a pop-up shop, the Nation Gear pop-up shop. So for a lot of you people out there that have been saying, hey, I don't want to order my stuff online because it's going to take a minute for it to get delivered. And I understand that. That would have been me before. You want to wear it tomorrow because Oiler games are going to be coming up left, right, and center. Well, guess what? All of our merchandise is going to be here at Greta. It's set up over there. We got totes on totes on totes of merchandise. And on top of that, I don't know if you saw, it's $5.50 Bud Lights, draft Bud Lights, which once again, cheers. Cheers.
Oh, cheers. Yes, yes.
This is
yes.
pre-gaming. Brett, also behind the scenes. Cheers. Give me a cheers. Give me a cheers there. We've got $5.50 Bud Lights. They've got half-price wings going down for every one of these events as well. That's insane. That puts asses in seats, I will say. And then, come on, $100,000 worth of renovations right before the playoffs. This place is going to be lit. You were just playing basketball with Brett. Who won?
I believe it was me.
No.
You believe it was
I believe it was me.
He went 3 rounds.
The numbers don't lie, Brett.
Yeah, you went 3 rounds.
Buddy,
I went 4. I'm no mathematician, but I shot more.
What did you get? 108? I got 160 the second round.
Yeah, I wasn't there. Nice. And you still lost to Alicia. Babe, that a boy.
She played high school basketball.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Dog.
That's like playing a pro NBA player.
Whoops.
Well, I'm just going to move past that one. Let's check in with the chat now because you guys were insane during the Oilers Nation Everyday 7-hour mega stream. I'm also happy to report that I can say this because I have the YouTube numbers right in front of me. For our 7-hour mega stream that went down today, we raised $2.4K, $2,400 in 7 hours, all going towards the Ben Stelter Foundation. You guys were incredible, and as I see, there's already a couple of you in this chat already. So first one of the day, Connor Brown, he says, I'm early to set the tone with a cup year. Was also screaming, set the tone minutes before he sat down and was yelling at Kennedy to get him a beer. To be fair, it did set the tone. Vinny, let's win game 1, boys. Lance Kane is in person and says, cup year. Cup year. There it is. Kiana, love her. She's in the best time of year, starts tonight. Let's get that dub and set the tone early. Bella's in, cup year. Let's go. Oilers, Mackay and Dry. We missed you, Bordsy. Yeah, well, I was there for the 7-hour stream. I was just behind the scenes making sure everything was running smoothly. Don't worry. I still shotgunned 2 beers today on the stream. When Liam wasn't down, you know who was down. Bordsy was there. And also, Brett, you saw it. Shout out now co-worker Reese. Because I saw he just shotgunned a beer at the end of the stream as well. He did a great job drawing flags as well. He drew Rwanda. I didn't get to see whatever the name is for Newfoundland.
The Republic of Newfoundland.
The Republic of the Newfoundland.
Yes.
There it is.
Hey, Reese can put him back with the best of them too. So
Reese
he's young. He's young, right?
Reese is. We saw it last time we were at Greta. I'm excited. The whole team going to be down here once again. Not too late. I've been reserving tables. Everyone's texting me last minute. I can get it done. And also, if you're interested in coming down later, just say Bordsy at the door and they will let you in. I don't know who said that. That couldn't have been me.
Whoa.
Make sure you find your way down. Everyone's there. They're saying donations have to stop. No, they don't, because I see some super chats. Reminder, all in support of the Ben Stelter Foundation, a cause incredibly near, incredibly dear to all of our hearts. But I don't need to tell you guys because you did great on ONE today. But pre and post game is where we have made a chunk of change this year. Iron Duke's in $10. Let's keep the super chats rolling for Ben, Mackay, and Dry. There it is. I was waiting for today's. $6.99 Bordsy Bars Part 9. It's game 1. Where's Devin? Do we get Boomchard or just Evan? Stu better close shop. He ain't no 7-Eleven. It's a cup year. Kings are done. Brett, that's a cup year.
cup year.
Cup year bars, as far as I'm concerned. Oily Accountant, $2.79. We're going to kick the shit out of the Kings. Couldn't have put that better myself. Very eloquent from the Oily Accountant. He actually said it twice. Put double $2.79. So he's feeling confident. Then Levi, $6.99. Freddie Goal in Stewie Trust Cup. Yeah. Now, before we get in to our Oilers talk, I do want to give a shout out to Odd Company Brewing for the Nation Beer Everyday Lager. It's perfect for game day, perfect for every day of the week. You can pick them up 2 Odd Company locations in the Edmonton area, or you know the drill. LiquorConnect.com. Find out which local liquor stores are carrying this bad boy, and then it's up to you. I'm shooting for a 2.5-month run here from the Edmonton Oilers. No one wants to have to go back to Odd Company to re-up. So if you're thinking about 1 flat, you might as well get 2 flats. And if you're feeling really adventurous like Christopher Palmer, I think that guy's got 3 flats, 4 flats. I don't even know how many, but he is a big proprietor of
investor.
Odd Company Nation Beer. Final one before we get into the Oilers talk was, what did you think of the 7-hour mega stream today? Shout out you, because you had the idea with the Xbox for the Chell 2025, which was a hit. We need to play that game because Liam didn't know what the fuck he was doing out there on the ice. It took him a game to say, well, how do you shoot? How do you shoot? Was overall thoughts on the stream? And who of us 3 do you think would be the best Chell player? You, me, Brett.
Honestly, the stream was pretty awesome. It was a great time. I'm going to be selfish here. Probably me. I've got a lot of experience playing Chell, man. Okay, like I used to be a former FIFA player. I know how to play the sticks, man. All right, I got experience on it.
You're a gamer.
I'm a gamer. All right, so but the stream was awesome. I hope to do more Chell stuff, more gaming stuff, maybe in the future in the off season. But hopefully the off season is not until July. Okay.
I used to play this guy in FIFA for our FIFA streams for the 90th minute. He was the worst player.
That is BS. That is fabrication.
No, it is not. He was consistently at the bottom of the standings.
I don't know who to believe.
I'm pissed off now.
Spin the wheel.
I am not happy.
I'm addicted to the wheel, bro. Once again, let me know what you guys thought of the stream in there. Also, summer content. I would love to just crush some beers and play Chell.
I think it's a great idea. We got the patio there just in case.
We do it.
It's going to be warm.
I think every single person in our company would be down for it. I know Lance Kane would be down for it as well. Lance Kane, without a doubt, the best dressed person here.
He always is.
Bar, yeah. But, people, it's Edmonton, it's LA, it's part 4 of this series. Now, this one, we've talked about it nauseam. We've known that these two were going to be dancing, 2-3 weeks ago. But that doesn't mean it's any less hype. I feel like some talking heads out there in the mainstream media, if you will, which always makes me ask, are we media?
Sometimes.
Technically media.
Kind of.
I would not say mainstream.
Tyler more so.
Tyler more, definitely not Borsy. Definitely not Was. Definitely not Brett. But the LA Kings have home ice advantage for the first time in this head-to-head series they've now got going for the 4th year in a row. And the Kings, we all know it, have been quite dominant at home ice this season. They're 31-6-4 on Crypto.com Arena ice. LA is also 2-0 against Edmonton on home ice. Now, one of those victories came without Connor. It came without Leon. So throw that one out of the – just throw it out as far as I'm concerned. Now, the difference this year was they're as deep as they'll ever be. I do believe that this is the best puncher's chance the LA Kings will ever have because of that deeper roster, because of home ice advantage. But more importantly, I think the MVP of their team is one Darcy Kemper. He has been fantastic all season long. He's got a 202 goals against, above a 920 save percentage. I think he is the X factor in this series. It's less home ice because, as we always know, it's Connor and Leon against the LA Kings. The LA Kings are deep. They do not have the near top-end talent that the Edmonton Oilers do possess, but that home ice is going to be a major factor. Question for you. As I mentioned, this is the year the talking heads are giving the LA Kings a chance for all of those reasons. Are you feeling the nervousness? Where are you at vibe-wise with the Oilers and Kings heading into this series? Are you reading into home ice? Are you reading into Darcy Kemper? Because when I mention all these talking heads and all these clips I'm seeing online, whether it's chicklets, empty netters, blah, 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 they're all picking the LA Kings. And then at the very end of these clips, they're going, oh, yeah, but Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl might be able to take over the series. That's exactly what they've done in the past 3 years. We'll get into the numbers a little bit lately. I think they're both healthy, as close to 100% as possible. Do you think this is the best year for the LA Kings for their puncher's chance?
It is, but unfortunately, they're no match for the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers will be very confident. Too many people are underestimating them. I can see why, because maybe of the injuries, and they finished 3rd in the Pacific, whatever. The playoffs is a different game. Game 1, it's a clean slate. And Leon Draisaitl, I don't know if you've seen, but he's wearing the same suit to this Game 1 that he wore to Connor McDavid's wedding, because he said, I'm just going to bring the same suit because this is not a special occasion. We're going to wash them.
See, that's the type of inside information that you're not going to get anywhere else.
Yeah,
My boy
yeah.
is checking on all their suits. Brett, just quick for you. Where are you at? Are you concerned about home ice as much as everybody has talked about it? Because, I mean, sure, they're going to play 4 games on Crypto.com Arena if it goes to 7 games. I just think the Edmonton Oilers, they get a split in this first game 1 and 2 here, and you're coming back to Edmonton for game 3 with the split. You've got them exactly where you want it. You've completely flipped home ice advantage. I know you spend all regular season worrying about it and pushing for it. I'm not that concerned, but maybe I'm just crazy. What do you think?
No, I'm not concerned at all. Again, we've had this similar narrative a couple years ago as well, where it's like, oh, this team, this LA Kings team is different. They got a new goalie, this, that, and the other thing. I'm not concerned at all. You know what the Edmonton Oilers have? We have a Hulk. We have a Leon Draisaitl. We have Connor McDavid. Trent Frederick is coming back into this lineup, supposedly, probably tonight. We got Jake Wallman as well, who is, I don't want to say a lateral movement for a Matthias Ekholm, but damn, does he look good in his Edmonton Oilers threads. I am not concerned at all. This team has not been healthy whatsoever in the last 2 months. Now it seems like they aren't the walking wounded. And now they're stepping into a situation that they are quite familiar with at Crypto.com Arena. I am beyond confident. And normally I'm not.
Yeah, and can I just add, for me, I feel like game 1s are a bit of a wash because I don't think they determine a series if you lose them or win them. If anything, it's simply an opportunity to get a feel for your opponent. Now, I'm not saying the Oilers shouldn't take this game seriously. Of course they should, and getting a win would be awesome. You get the lead in the series early, but we've seen them lose plenty of game 1s in the past and still win the series. So game 1s are just a feeling out process.
Game 1s have not been kind to the Edmonton Oilers, I will say. There has been 13 separate playoff series for the Edmonton Oilers since 2017. Cover years, they've won 3 game 1s in that stretch. 3-10 record in game 1s. Now, the good news, 2 of those wins came last season for the Edmonton Oilers, and one of them was against the LA Kings game 1. The Oilers defeated them by a score of 7-4. Now, that sure was on Rogers Place ice, and it will be a different story tonight. But once again, I feel like, Waz, we've been in Greta now for all of last year. We were in some games for the year previous. I feel like I've seen more game 1 losses than wins, without a doubt. I've gotten very good at doing Oilers Nation After Dark, going down 0-1 in a series. And like I just mentioned, when you're on the road, all I'm looking for here is a split. All I'm looking for is a 1-1 series tie coming back to Edmonton in Rogers Place. You tell me it's split, you're coming back to that building with this rowdy fan base, with that team of the Oilers, hopefully fully healthy. I like where they're going to be in that position. Fret not, I would say. So once again, if the Oilers, all I'm looking for is that steal. Now, a lot of discussion about the Edmonton Oilers and their injury report for the last, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, month, basically since the 4 Nations. And we've got a lot of information to pass. Brett, I believe we have a tweet in here. I believe it's from Elliot Friedman, if you want to throw that one. You can throw up the Tony Brar one as well. It's fine. It gives kind of the best breakdown possible that we can give. So shout out TB. Also a Nate television broadcasting graduate.
It's my boy.
What up? So you see here, Frederick Trent, that is a game time decision. Now, we got other words from guys like Daniel Nugent-Bowman, and I believe it was Mark Spector saying, if you were a betting man, you might bet that Trent Frederick is going to be in the lineup tonight, that he was answering questions like he might be in the lineup. We don't know yet. That's why you're going to tune into Pregaming with Boards. We don't know for sure, but I've got him in with a pencil. Jake Wallman, also expected to return to the lineup for the Edmonton Oilers. He sat out a number of games at the end of the regular season, which was awesome for the tattoo bet, which I'll also give you guys an update on that in just a second. So Jake Wallman is expected to be back in this game tonight. Also, he is expected to be on that second pairing with one Brett Kulak. And speaking of Brett Kulak, well, he's going to be in. Shout out his wife. Shout out the birthing plan for Brett Kulak, because that's how you do it, giving birth the day before the Edmonton Oilers take on the LA Kings. So I believe from what I read online, his wife gave birth in Canmore yesterday. I believe he hopped on a flight this morning, came down to Los Angeles. He is ready to go. Wife welcomed their second daughter into the world, Skylar Brooklyn Kulak.
A lot of K's.
Yeah.
Love her already. Let's go. John Klingberg, he's out. Oh no. Then you also see Evander Kane is expected to be out. I want to ask you about that in a second. And Stuart Skinner starts game 1. So Trent Frederick, touch on in a second. I want him to talk about the defense score because as we all know, Mattias Ekholm is not going to be playing in this series. And I am a little bit nervous about that. Now, Darnell Nurse, whether you like to admit it or not, has been the Edmonton Oilers' #1 defenseman this season. And for the last month, 2 months, he's been leading this team in ice time, game in, game out. I feel very comfortable with him on the top pair with Evan Bouchard. You move down, you've got Brett Kulak with Jake Woolman. Brett just mentioned all the things about Woolman, which you've got to love. He's going to be playing some playoff games here. And Brett Kulak, that steady Eddie, can do whatever you need from. The part where I get worried is you look at that third pairing, one Ty Emberson. That's not who I'm concerned about, was. It's Joshua Brown, the 3-year deal man for the Edmonton Oilers, expected to make his playoff for the Oilers debut. Well, there's no way to put it here. I'm nervous. That one makes me clench. That's been a theme here on Pregaming and After Dark. Now, the LA Kings, I will say, don't have that top-end talent of the Oilers, so it won't be as much of a matchup if you had a Connor McDavid or Leon out there against a Josh Brown. But this LA Kings team is deep. They roll 3 lines. They roll 4 lines, but they have scoring threats on all 3 lines. They're going to have last change tonight, also being on home ice. So I'm a little bit concerned about that third pair, the top 4. I'm expecting all 4 of them playing north of 20 minutes time on ice tonight specifically. And if I am going to be glass half full and positive here about Josh Brown, was the one thing, he played a couple games before the conclusion of the regular season, and he's not going to knock your socks off. He's not going to impress you with anything, especially with the puck on a stick. Holy shit, don't do that. But the way I worded it was a poor man's Vincent Desharnais, which, yes, I heard that come out of my mouth. That's also very scary. But he's a physical presence. He's not afraid to lay the body. He has been laying in front of pucks, showing a willingness to block pucks. And if you do that for 12 minutes, 13 minutes with some sheltered ice time here and there against, some PK minutes, maybe the lesser competition in your own end, I do think the Oilers could insulate Josh Brown to a degree, but there is no way to put it, no way to slice it other than that sucks. I'm very nervous about it. Thoughts on Josh Brown playing third pairing minutes for the Edmonton Oilers?
Yeah, well, Josh Brown's been an absolute adventure for the Edmonton Oilers this year, right? There's been times where he just gets absolutely exposed because he is trying to be very physical for the Edmonton Oilers, and that's what they need him to do. But for the Oilers and Josh Brown to be successful, I think they just need to limit his minutes. I don't know how many minutes he's going to get tonight. It's going to be interesting, and this is a new opportunity for him because it is the NHL playoffs, and sometimes players tend to elevate and become kind of dark horses in the playoffs. Now, I'm not saying that Josh Brown is going to be the dark horse for the Edmonton Oilers, but
night. You heard it here first.
Yeah. It's I am a little nervous for him because it is a different type of hockey. It is faster paced, but maybe the physicality can play into his factor, and he can help the Oilers by wearing down the LA Kings when he is on the ice. My only thing for Josh Brown is please don't take a stupid penalty that's going to cost your team, because that was one thing. I think it was early in the NHL season this year for the Oilers where he did that, and the Oilers got scored on the PK. It was annoying, but Josh Brown, I want to believe in this guy. I don't want to be a total negative Nancy. We'll see. It's just limit his minutes.
It's about teetering the edge for me personally about that. You got to play physical. You got to play nasty. But we saw the last game against the LA Kings. There was 13 fucking minor penalties called. Is Wes McCauley out there on the ice tonight? Somebody let me know, because I don't know who the ref
That's
is.
a great question.
I'm expecting there would be considerably less calls. It's the NHL playoffs. Swallow your whistles. Lance Kane says if Josh Brown gets suspended, Josh Brown is worth the money. I don't know about that. We did jokingly talk about, hey, if you wanted to pull a Darnell Nurse move, but if you take a 5-minute major, you're putting this team at a loss. Brett, thoughts on Josh Brown?
Yeah, I like big defensemen who just bully
Good
people.
point from Battle here as well.
Yes, well, and that's that's exactly what I'm kind of thinking is like he knows his role. He's not, well, I don't know him personally, but I'm going to say he's not dumb. He knows what he's up here for. And honestly, in those last 2 games that he played, he plugged up passing lanes. He plugged up shooting lanes. There we go. And was able to get in front of a lot of shots, man. I think he had like 10 block shots in those 2 final games that he played or something like that as well. I like a guy who gets in front of a couple shots as well. I'm not worried about Josh Brown because he is a guy who is just going to go out there and play his game. as long as he plugs up those lanes, goes and lays the body and makes it uncomfortable for the LA Kings in our end, it is going to be fine. Like you said, a poor man's Vinny Desharnais. You know I freaking love Vinny Desharnais. So
Brett's
Josh
got a type.
Brown, I do have a type. Guys who are taller than me. What up, cuh? Yes, no. So I'm not worried about Josh Brown at all. Just go out there and do your job. Unless it's on the rush. That's the one part where I'm like, ooh, hey.
That's where you got to insulate. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, other point I want to make, last 2 games for Josh Brown for the Oilers against the Kings and Sharks. Against the Kings, 5 hits, 4 blocks. Against the Sharks, 3 hits, 3 blocks. Waz, you looked up the refs, though.
Yeah, so we do have the referees for tonight. Shout out scouting the refs. We have Trevor Hansen from Richmond, BC, and Kyle Raymond from Red Deer, Alberta, refereeing this game. So we'll see what happens.
Somebody do the homework. How do they do against the Oilers?
Actually, let me see here. Trevor Hansen is 2-3-0, while Kyle Raymond is 5-2-0 for the Edmonton Oilers this season.
Let's go, Kyle.
Let's go, Kyle.
Let's go, Kyle.
Let's go, Kyle.
Red Deer boy.
Attaboy. Shout
Man,
out Kyle
he's kinda
as
old.
well. Let's go now. So once again, I mentioned we're going to have to move everything up a little bit. Bordzy's bankroll's coming at you 40 minutes past the hour. There's our new friend, Devin Dubnyk, joining at 50 minutes past the hour. Let's do our need-to-know information courtesy of Will Hawk Beef Jerky, because only the finest tasting meat products earn that sweet, sweet Will Hawk name, made from 100% pure Alberta beef. Their jerky is aged, seasoned, marinated, and smoked to savory perfection. They gladly fill orders of any size, and you can find their jerky, sausage, and other products exclusively out of their Leduc location. So, as we know, Brett, I'm just even going to hit this for us. Bang! There's the playoff history for the Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings. The Oilers, this is part 4, baby. They beat the Kings 4-3 back in 2022, 4-2 in 23, and 4-1 last season. So, Waz, by the process of elimination, are the Oilers going to sweep the Kings?
Yes.
That's it. Not going to add anything about that. 6 players left the Oilers from their round 1 team last year against the LA Kings. Fogle, who is now on the other side of that battle, Holloway, CC, Desharnais, Sam Carrick, and Ryan McLeod. While we've got 7 new Edmonton Oilers making their Oilers playoff debuts. Jeff Skinner, who also is making his, in general, NHL playoff debut. Victor Arvidsson, Vasily Podkolzin, Kasperi Kapanen, Ty Emberson, Jake Woolman, Josh Brandt. Now, who knows about Kasperi Kapanen, because we could see him come out of the lineup, because injury-wise, Trent Frederick, I've got him in pencil. Daily Faceoff has him on the 3rd line with Jeff Skinner and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I have yet to see anything that is officially stating that he's in. But once again, that's why I write in pencil. Pencil has erasers. I'm very excited for that. Jeff Skinner makes his debut after 1,078 regular season games, I believe. Finally making his debut, slated to skate on that 3rd line with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins as his center, and either Kasperi Kapanen or Trent Frederick in that spot, because it feels like the 4th line is going to be Janmark, Adam Henrique, and Corey Perry without a doubt. Wallman's in, Kulak's in, no Matthias Ekholm, and unfortunately, the one that I never thought I'd be this upset over the injury, but no Troy Stetcher in this game as well, which could be a big loss for the Edmonton Oilers. That's why Josh Brown is in. One note here, Corey Perry is the most experienced player left in the NHL postseason. He has played 216 career playoff games. The next closest is 191 from Ryan McDonough. The next closest after that was 160. We know Corey Perry does have a Stanley Cup to his name. He's also got a couple of Stanley Cup Finals losses to his name as well, hoping to change that one. And then finally, Stu Skinner is expected to get the start. He had a .901 save percentage in the NHL playoffs last season. All we do is beg for 900. Hopefully he can provide that again. He was 14-9 last season, 2.45 goals against average. The Kings, they're relatively healthy to start the series. They only have 1 injury, and it's Tanner Jeannot, not expected to play tonight. And I'm not even sure how much he'll be playing in this series. Joel Edmondson, he's returning back to the lineup. Drew Doughty, he'll be in the lineup as well. Trade deadline acquisition, Andrei Kuzmenko. That guy has been a game changer for the Kings. That guy is a player to watch for me because he is lethal on that Kings power play. He's kind of exactly what they've needed. He has 5 goals, 17 points in 22 games with the LA Kings. He's now on the top line with Adrian Kempe and Ante Kopitar. 3 guys that they know how to put pucks in the back of the net. Drew Doughty and Mikey Anderson, the top defensive pairing, while the Kings have decided to split up Gavrikov and Joel Edmondson. One will play with young blue liner Jordan Spence. The other will play with young blue liner Brant Clark. And then obviously Darcy Kemper is expected to get the start. He went 31, 11, and 7 this season with a 202 goals against and a 921 save percentage, I should rather say. So without a doubt, I'd say he is the best goaltender the Oilers will face in these previous years against the LA Kings, because what it's been Talbot, it's been Rittich, it's been Korpisalo. Kemper, he does have a Stanley Cup to his name as well. Let's go quickly. Sherwood Ford Giant storyline brought to you by Sherwood Ford the Giant. Brought to you by their Nation Valet service. If you're new here, you need to get some services done to your car. You need to get your oil changed, and it doesn't even need to be a Ford. They will do any make and model. They will get it done. They will come to your home. They'll come to your workplace. They'll grab your keys. They say, Bordsy, keys me. You throw it to the stranger. It's a stranger you can trust. They take it back to the shop. They do all the work they need to do. They bring it right back to you. You don't even have to leave home. You don't even have to leave the office. Sherwood Ford the Giant for a reason was my Sherwood Ford Giant storyline. It's 3 words: Connor and Leon. Can they do it? They're the X factors in this series. 2 guys who have been banged up to end the regular season. Connor McDavid did come back. He had 9 points in those 3 games. Then he sat one out. Then he played the final one. There was no rust whatsoever when you looked at 97 going up and down the ice. Leon Draisaitl on the other side won the Rocket Richard handedly while missing 11 games in the regular season this year. Without a doubt, the Edmonton Oilers MVP, but he's coming off an injury as well. So will he be the same player? I don't have any doubts. We've seen Draisaitl play on one leg in the NHL playoffs. And then the other thing, their numbers against the LA Kings have just been absolutely insane in the last 3 playoff series. Connor McDavid, 36 points in 18 games against the Kings. Quick math for you, that's 2 per game. That might be in Bordzy's bankroll. Then Leon Draisaitl, 17 goals, 30 points in 18 games. He has 17 goals in 18 games against the Kings. Was, without a doubt, my storyline, my key to victory is 97 and 29. What about you?
I think my storyline here is going to be the Edmonton Oilers' defense and how they can compete without Matthias Ekholm, because he has been a staple on that back end, especially with Evan Bouchard, especially in the past 2 postseasons. That pairing specifically has been very good together. They're basically in sync, and even without Troy Stetcher, who's been an absolute gamer this season for the Oilers, it sucks to see him out of the lineup, and Josh Brown is a little bit of a question mark. We all know how much of a head scratcher he can be, as we've seen this year. And honestly, it's going to be interesting. I think a lot of my attention is going to be on Evan Bouchard and how he can perform. He didn't have the best of seasons, obviously, but the Oilers are going to need a lot out of him, and I think he will perform. He's been a postseason performer.
Last year set the record for most points ever in a playoff run, and it's been a roller coaster. It's been up and down this year for the Bouch, but we saw it last year, and we even saw the physicality realm from Evan Bouchard. He's never going to be a crazy physical, laying big hits, jumping into scrums, this and there, but he was getting involved in scrums, they'll say. He was face-washing. He was protecting his crease, protecting his goaltender. I do hope that it is as simple as flipping that switch for one Evan Bouchard to go into playoff mode, because once again, all season, the Oilers have been waiting to get from Game 7 back to this point. 82 games, just a formality. Well, we're finally here. Show me what you're made of. Now, Bert, we still don't have exact confirmation on Trent Frederick, but can you show the people the projected lineup for the Oilers if Freddie was to be in? So there you see it on your screen. Top line, Zachary Martin-Hyman with Connor McDavid and Connor Brown. First line, Connor Brown. Second line, Vasily Podkolzin with Leon and Victor Arvidsson, a trio that has ran the NHL shit all season long. Those 2 wingers have even done it with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, but they've been at their best with Leon Draisaitl. The third line, what we project, what we hope for, is Jeffrey Scotty Skinner with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Trent Frederick. So he's day-to-day. He is a game-time decision. Everything that I saw online today is going to have you believing that he's going to be ready to go in this hockey game. Your fourth line, Matthias Janmark with Rico and Corey Perry. Brett, show me the D pairings as well. Darnell with Evan Bouchard, Brett Kulak with Jake Woolman, and Ty Emerson with Josh Brown. So, Waz, obviously it's speculation. We'll let you know when we know here about Frederick and if it's 100% legitimate. But what do you expect if Frederick is going to be in the lineup? Because we've only seen him for 7 total minutes here for the Edmonton Oilers. But in those 7 minutes, he was everything exactly as advertised, getting into scrums, laying big hits. He, in the first period of his one game against the LA Kings, he had 4 shifts. He had 2 scrums. His scrum per shift was absolutely fantastic. We know he has hands. We know he can play with skilled players. But one thing for me that I am most excited, the Oilers haven't been the biggest hitting team. They haven't been the nastiest group. That's a realm he does 100% better than most in this league. He's still got the hands. What would you expect from Trent Frederick, and if he's ready to go tonight?
I expect him to hopefully play more than 7
Please,
minutes.
God, please.
That's what we're hoping out of here, and I know a lot of fans have been annoyed with that trade because he's barely played. He's played only 7 minutes, but he's here to be physical, to get under the skin of the opponent. That's what you want to see out of him. I know we were kind of expecting that out of Evander Kane as well. He likely apparently won't be available maybe until Game 3, according to Jason Greger on OilersNation.com. But with Trent Frederick, I'm just expecting physicality and to be just engaged a lot in scrums and pissing off the LA Kings. And we need that out of him, especially after what Philip Deneau said after that last game, saying the B squad, this and that. Look, you're about to face the Oilers. I mean, A squad without Echo. This is still kind of like the A-minus squad.
A-minus squad.
You're still getting a lot of the empty Oilers here, but Trent Frederick is going to be a joy to watch. The thing is, ankle injuries are annoying, and they're hard to heal. It's not just surgery. It's a little bit of patience. They can get nicked up very easily. I don't know if you've ever experienced a high ankle sprain. They're not fun. It's a bit of a waiting game, right?
LeBron says it. Rather just break a bone. You'd rather just break the bone.
It's true.
That can heal. You know the timeline of the bone. It's going to be tough, but we know Frederick. Come on, you're in the playoffs here. This is the style of game you play. Brett, expectations?
Oh, I can't wait.
Bring the boom.
Oh, dude, I cannot wait to watch this guy play playoff hockey. After what we saw against the Kings in his first 7 minutes as an Edmonton Oiler, like absolutely bullying Kevin Fiala, just fucking jab, 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 jab. Oh, yeah, we're going to be here for a while, buddy. I can't wait. But ankles are the only joints I roll, so I completely understand how difficult ankle injuries can be.
Do 82 post games a year. You think my buddies are aware that I might be busy an hour before the show?
Shout out Styles.
Before the game. Shout out Styles. Bordsy can't answer. Should I just take the call and say Bordsy at the door, and they will let you in? He should be in the chat to find out information like that. Final question. Predict Connor and Leon's stat line tonight. What do they do?
Brett, you go first.
I think goal and 2 assists for each of them.
Oh, I love that.
I'm going to go 3 assists for Connor McDavid and a goal for Leon Draisaitl.
I'm doing 3 apples, McDavid, goal assist from Leon Draisaitl.
Nice.
Bang, book it. Let's go now. Starting goaltender report brought to you by Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. Come on now. They've got their Price Law event going on. It's springtime. Might not feel like it right now out there, but summer is around the corner. Go to Power Sports Marine. Get your ATV service, get your motorcycle service, dirt bikes, whatever you need to get done. They can do it for you. Also, you might need to book that now if you want to get your boat service. May long weekend coming up. Before you know it, it will be here. And they've got a queue at Power Sports Marine for that 70,000-liter test pool. It's Stuart Skinner. It's Darcy Kemper. Obviously, we're going to have Devin Dubnyk join us in just a couple minutes. That's what I'm most excited about having Doobie on, is that on After Dark, so I can say, hey, chat wants Skinner's head on a stick. They're blaming him for this. They're blaming Bouchard for this. Doobie, please tell us what we should be thinking. But Stuart, Skinner, where's your confidence level, was? Because he played 2 games before the playoffs, since being concussed against the Dallas Stars. And in those 2 games, he did everything you could ask him to do. He pitched a shutout against the San Jose Sharks, and he stopped 17 of 18 against the Winnipeg Jets. Now, Jets didn't have their total A squad out there, but they still had a ton of talent, a lot of threats out there. And Stu can only stop the pucks that are coming his way. Where is your confidence level with Stuart Skinner? Because it was debated, would it be Pickard, would it be Skinner? I think we were the only ones debating that, because it seemed from day one the Oilers were set. Stu is the starter.
Montreal ties it.
Montreal scored.
Oh, wow,
Let's
that's
go.
big. Holy. Yeah, Stuart Skinner. If I was going to rate it out of 10, I'd give it a 6.5 because he did have a pretty shaky regular season, but in the same breath, he had a pretty solid 2024 playoffs. And I say solid because I know everyone's going to bring up the Vancouver Canucks series, how Pickard had to step in for him. Sure, whatever. But Stuart Skinner, last year in the 2024 playoffs, had 3 of the top 10 performances in that postseason. In Game 4 against Florida, he had a .970 save percentage with a plus 2.38 goals saved above expected. His best performance was actually against the LA Kings in Game 4, Round 1, where he had a shutout with a 2.85 goals saved expected. That was a positive. And then in the third round, we all know what happened in Game 6 against the Dallas Stars. He still in his head. He had a .971, and his goals saved above expected was a plus 2.33, and he also had a .951 save percentage against Dallas. Now, albeit he played well, but also the Oilers defense played well in front of him. Combined together, the Oilers are rock solid.
Damn right there. Darcy Kemper, Stanley Cup champion. He's really good. Connor and Leon, that's all I got to say about that. Let's go now. Away lineup brought to you by Greta Bar, the very bar that we are in right now. It may be a Monday night. It does not feel like a Monday night when you are in Greta Bar. Going to be an awesome event tonight. Lots of people coming out. And hopefully we see the Edmonton Oilers with a Game 1 victory. We're going to be here all playoffs long. Me specifically here every single game, pre and post. Bert, I see you got it there for me. Also, shout out these new sponsored by full page takeovers. Those look very, very pretty. Bert, hit it for me here if you can. The projected lineup, top line, like I mentioned, Andrei Kuzmenko with Kopitar and Kempe, Kevin Fiala with Quinton Byfield and Alex Laferriere, Warren Fogle, the enemy now, with, I'll say it, bitch boy, Philip Deneau. There, I said it. Trevor Moore, also that could apply to him as well. Jeff Millot on the fourth line, younger brother of Mike Millot. Doubt he fights like Mike Millot. Then Sam Hellenius and Alex Turcotte round out the fourth line. Your deep pairings, Mikey.
Who's a grown man named Mike?
Grown-ass man.
Grow
Anderson.
up. You still eat cereal for breakfast, dork?
People don't forget. Drew Doughty, and then second line, second pair, Gavrikov with Jordan Spence. Third pairing, Joel Edmondson with Brant Clark. We got to go quick here. Give me your player to watch. I mentioned it off the hop. For me, it is all about Andrei Kuzmenko. This guy just brings that sniper, that goal scorer, that playmaker that you could argue this team, once again, he's not the top-end talent of 97, of 29. But you look at that top line, dude, Kopitar, Kempe, Kuzmenko. That is a pretty nasty trio. And since Kuzmenko has joined this team, he's completely changed their power play. He's changed the look of that first line. And then it's able to put guys like Kevin Fiala, who has 30-plus goals this season, on the second line. Quinton Byfield is a guy who makes me very, very nervous. Darnell, sick him. Get after him once again. Do what you got to do. Waz, who's your player to watch?
I'm going to give it to Drew Doughty because he has a wealth of experience. He is probably very hungry to beat the Edmonton Oilers, considering he's probably been in each of these renditions longer than anyone on the LA Kings that I can think of. I don't know how. Has Philip Deneau been there since the first one in 2022? I can't remember, but Drew Doughty, he is a hell of a defenseman playing still at the top of his game at such a, old age. I don't want to use the word old because we see what Corey Perry's doing, but Drew Doughty definitely a player to watch for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I also think Vladislav Gavrikov always surprises me. And I shouldn't be surprised, but his willingness to jump up in the rush. He gets involved offensively very much so. We're going to be joined by our new pal, Devin Dubnyk, in just a second. I'm going to do Bordzy's bankroll, show you my picks. Brett will let that marinate in the chat. And then why don't we even ask Doobie which of those three picks that he likes the most. Bordzy's bankroll brought to you by Bet365. Breaking news coming in from them, where every nail-biting overtime win is a barn burner. Every face-off, hat-trick, power play, shot on goal, penalty shot, and every suspenseful minute in between is amazing. You know it. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. They're an official partner of the NHL. Download the app. Use the promo code NATION. Must be 19 or older. And as I say, please play responsibly. I'm going to wait for eye contact here. Only bet what you're willing to lose. Be smart out there. But Bert, pull it up. Because here we're rolling. We're riding, and we're going with the big dogs. The first option this evening, Connor McDavid, 2+ points, plus 130 on Bet365 right now. I just mentioned to you, 36 points in 18 games against the Kings in the playoffs over the last 3 seasons. Quick math, that averages out to 2+ points per game. The next one, it's Leon's world. It's Leon's season. We're just living in it. so we might as well profit off of it. I'm looking for 3+ shots. Was considering going to 4, but he said, no, we got to see it go through the hoop. That's -180. So Bet365 also picking up what I'm laying down. We know Leon's going to be ripping from his office, especially on the power play, which is an area that's going to be pretty key to the Oilers' success. The Kings' PK this season, unreal. But we know what the Oilers have done to the Kings in previous years in the playoffs. And then finally, I didn't have the balls to do Jeff Skinner anytime goal, so I went with a Jeff Skinner 1+ points. It's +205, so I'm getting some juice there. I asked the chat on ONE earlier today, and they said he's got 50% goals, 50% assists. You might as well go with the 1+ point. Was which of those 3 bets do you like the most?
I think the most realistic is obviously the 3+ shots from Leon Draisaitl. I mean, this is his first game in forever. He's going to be hungry, like Connor McDavid, like Jeff Skinner, and especially if the Edmonton Oilers can get a few power plays, I'm guaranteed. I can see that hitting.
Bert, what do you like? Which one?
I already said that I think Connor and Leon are both going to get a goal and 2 assists, so I'm going with Connor 2 points. So don't want to say the L word, but damn close.
I'll say the other word. Lance, we like the bankroll? Yeah, we like the bankroll.
I like the 29 shot props a whole bunch, but I did a sprinkle on Nurse shot prop.
Oh, that's right.
Because I think there's going to be a lot of shots on the point because the Kings like to collapse the net, so I think we need a lot of point shots.
There was Ask Lance.
It.
There was Ask Lance, the new segment we've got going on here at Oilers Nation. Why don't we go to our newest news segment, and it's brought to you by Tourism Jasper. Shout out to them this summer. Find your happy place in Jasper, from hiking trails, paddling wild waters, or sharing laughs by the fire. Happiness finds you in Jasper. Jasper's open, vibrant, ready to welcome you back for more unforgettable moments. Drive over, play outside, soak up the fresh air, enjoy some food and drink, maybe even stay up late, because your best summer memories aren't behind you. They're waiting for you this summer in Jasper. Plan your trip at jasper.travel/summer. Without further ado, let's bring in my new best friend, Devin Dubnyk, former goaltender for the Edmonton Oilers, former stud. We are so happy to have you here, Dubs. As I've said to you in passing before, lifelong Edmontonian right here. I've seen it all. I lived through the decade of darkness. I was your biggest fan back in the day, and then I apologize for how some of the fan base may have treated. We didn't deserve you. In my opinion, we never did. But Doobie, I am thrilled to have you join us for not just tonight, not just pre-gaming. It's going to be Oilers Nation After Dark as well, and for every single game these playoffs. Now, Doobie, I ask you, you're in the Central Time Zone, I do believe. So these are going to be some late Oilers Nation After Darks. Did you get a pre-game nap today?
No pregame nap. No, I did coach a couple hockey games, so I do have. I'm hockey ready here, and the kids are just getting put to bed.
There we go.
Everyone's going to be fast asleep for post game.
Dude, I'm very excited. Once again, I've told you, open invite, open offer. If you ever want to come down to Edmonton, if you ever want to come to Greta and get a full experience, because this place is going to be lit. We're here all playoffs long. So forgive me later tonight, Doobie, if there's some background noise going on while we're doing the show. You can hear probably the air hockey pinging on.
Oh, it sounds awesome. I definitely would rather be there right now than sitting in my home office for sure. This sounds like the vibe there is a little more upbeat than here. But
once again, the offer always stands. But Doobie, we're going to be joined by you for the final 10 minutes of every single pre-gaming here for the playoffs, because you've been in the big leagues. You've been in the big moments in the NHL playoffs specifically. You know this team. You've been watching the Oilers all season long, been a great guest on Oilers Nation every day. And I guess shameless plug here as well. We've also got an Ask Doobie new show coming up. It's going to come out on Wednesdays. Look at that graphic. Shout out to Reese, who's going to be editing this bad boy. Go to our socials. If you're in the chat, you can send a message into Oilers Nation. You can respond to the tweet, DM, do whatever you need to do. And then our pal, Devin Dubnyk, will answer some of those questions, and it will be posted on Wednesday. But Doobie, I tasked you with 3 keys to the game for the Edmonton Oilers tonight in Game 1. There's a lot. There's the home ice advantage realm that it's just been making me sick how much I've been hearing this for the LA Kings, 31-6-5 on home ice. But I tasked you with 3 big ones, and you are a goaltender. That's not all that you discussed. You can do a little bit of everything. But I want to start with your first key that involves the Edmonton Oilers goaltending tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it simple for my first show here, but obviously being in Edmonton, a lot of talk, just about every show I was on, a lot of goaltending talk, and that's just going to continue to be the way it is until Stuart Skinner shows what he showed us for the tail end of playoffs last year. He had his bumps in playoffs. He had a similar type regular season, not great going in, a lot of question marks. He stumbled a bit in playoffs, but he picked himself up and he took him one game away from the Stanley Cup final. And I think we need to see some growth out of Skinner here, see him get started right away. There is, that all that talk around it, you can't flush it all out. He needs to do the best he can. I think starting on the road in this situation helps because there is added pressure at home. It's good to play at home as a goaltender sometimes when there's all this talk around who's going to perform. Is he going to be able to perform up to expectations? You get on the road, you don't really feel that. You feel like everybody in the building wants you to not perform well. So it's almost like an opposite type of pressure. So I think it's a good situation for Stuart Skinner here to start on the road, but he's got to get going early. And if there is a blip, if a goal goes in, it's going to be extremely important. He needs to show his team. He needs to show himself, obviously fans, but his team as well. He's in there. He's solid. He's comfortable and ready to go, and he's not going to let anything bother him and let it get him off track.
Jimmy, this is exactly why I want to have you on the show, right? Because I live in Edmonton. I'm at the bars. I'm hearing all the chirps and the negative comments, I will say, about Stuart Skinner. When I look, it's always about last year's playoff run and what happened in Vancouver, that he needed to be bailed out by Calvin Pickard. But I need to remind people, in the playoffs in general, he had a .901 save percentage. In the Cup final, he had a .909 save percentage. He was big in moments that you needed him to beat. And we as Oilers fans always request just above .900 goaltending. This team should find a way to win. I think that even applies to Game 7, where Stuart Skinner allowed 2 goals against, did his job for the team. They just couldn't necessarily capitalize on that. I also think there's a realm that, and I don't want to make a joke of it, concussions are never funny. There's nothing you can say there. But there was a little bit of a reset, I could say, here for Stuart Skinner at the end of the season. It was because of the concussion and neck injury he got bouncing into Mikko Rantanen. But in those 2 games since he came back, Stuart Skinner looked calm, cool, and collected. He had one S word, I will say, against the San Jose Sharks in Game 82. It's the Sharks, but you're only required to stop what's in front of you. And then he only allowed 1 goal against the Winnipeg Jets. So it's about what have you done for me lately? And I do believe in Stuart Skinner heading into this one. The second key I got, not a lot of people have, I'll say, a huge amount of belief in one Evan Bouchard. It has been a roller coaster, to say the least, this regular season. It's been up, it's been down. I'd argue probably the fans in the chat would say more down than up. But Doobie, last year we saw Evan Bouchard set the record for most points in a playoff run by an NHL defenseman. We saw him play like a number 1 defenseman. We saw him get a little bit physical, but do everything that is required of him. Your second key to victory, it involves Evan Bouchard?
Absolutely. We need playoff Bouch. We need playoff Bouch. That was another two continuing topics when I would get on the show. It was always goaltending and an Evan Bouchard clip. So we need Evan Bouchard's skill is obvious. His ability to move pucks, which on the Oilers is, if not the most important thing besides defending a little bit, is getting the pucks in the forward's hand and being able to chip in on the power play as well, which we all know he can do. But he needs to do it all. He needs to bring that part of the game, but he also needs to play defense, because if you're a number 1 D-man and you're expected to go out there and get points, that means you're on the ice for maybe up to 30 minutes a game, maybe not quite, but you're playing close to half the game. It can't be a give and take. It can't be offense traded for defense. As a number 1 defenseman on a team that's looking to push for a Stanley Cup, they need Evan Bouchard to do both. He's got to be that power play guy. He's got to be the guy that gets the puck into the forward's hands, but he's got to be able to defend. He just can't have these lulls and these dips where it just seems like he loses focus for a second, whether it's in his end, whether it's off of a transition. There just seems to be a split-second loss of focus, and he gets himself caught out of position. So whatever he needs to do to keep that focus for every single second that he's on the ice, and maybe playoff Bouch just gets that little bump knowing it's playoff hockey, and he's able to hold that focus when he gets out there. But if he can do for the Oilers what he did for them last year in playoffs, that's going to be a huge key.
there's been a theme on these Oilers Nation shows the last 2 years, and we call it the give a shit meter, and that Evan Bouchard has lacked in some of the give a shit, where in moments you say it's just a split-second breakdown. He stops moving his feet. He stops back-checking when there's a breakaway going the other way. Those are the things that we can't see from Evan Bouchard. And I guess, Dewey, my question to you, it's kind of discussed here with the Oilers. You've been in the playoffs before. Is there such a thing as just flipping the switch into playoff mode? I understand you're a goaltender, but I would assume that could still apply. Did you ever experience any of that where guys just, like the Oilers all season, have just been waiting to get back to this point? Since Game 7 losing against the Panthers, we've been waiting for Game 1, Round 1. They're finally here. Do you think the Oilers can just flip a switch?
You can. It's different as a goalie. As a goalie, again, because it's a reactive position, you have to almost try to go the other way. You don't want to get yourself so amped up that you're changing the way you play. But as a player, I think you see guys do flip switches. That's why there are guys who aren't regular season guys, and they become these playoff folklore heroes because they're able to flip a switch and get out there and create things. I play with a guy in Minnesota, Eric Hall. I mean, he was a great, still playing obviously, but he was good in the regular season, but the Hall of Famer, he always stepped up come playoff time. He was just one of those guys that thrived under the pressure. He loved playing at home. He loved the fans, and he would just step up in playoffs. And so some guys are able to do that. And as a forward, as a defenseman, whatever it is as a player, if you bring extra energy, extra intensity, you can go out there and make a difference. And I tell the kids this all the time when I coach them in big games and stuff, and it goes all the way through the top, is you don't know what shift's going to make the difference. Every time you step on the ice, you have to be focused from the start of the shift to the end of the shift, because you really don't know what little play is going to make a difference. Maybe it is just you stop skating for 1 second and you miss a puck by 6 inches and it's a breakaway, or you just can't quite get to the front of the net to clear it. And playoff hockey is so tight, and you see these games, they're usually 1-goal games decided late a lot of times, and it just can be that tiny little 3-4 inches. And that's what these guys need to do every single time they step on the ice. It gets harder as they get tired, but the guys that are able to do that those are your playoff performers.
I pray that Jeff Skinner becomes one of those playoff guys that can just flip the switch, as this will be his first ever NHL playoff game. Final one. Doobie, it's no secret, the Oilers Kings, the power play is going to be key in this one. The Oilers, they have put it on the LA Kings with the man advantage in each of the last 3 seasons. This year, the LA Kings, they're one of the top penalty kill teams in the entire NHL. Power play dominance going to be key for the Oilers. Am I right?
It is, and that's the thing with Edmonton. I don't care how good your power play is. When they were moving the puck like they were last year in the postseason and clicking the way they were, I don't care. I do not care who it is. If you're the best penalty killers in the world, because they don't give you the same look ever. They're moving around. Connor's moving around all over the place. Leon is in his office, but he's moving around. And so there's no way, you can't go to the tape and defend it. You can't go and say, oh, we should take this away, we should take this away, because every play is different. They're constantly moving around. And in one breakdown, somebody else is open. So if the Oilers can do that, and like last year, if they get a power play and they don't score, they're basically scoring for sure on the next one. It was ridiculous to watch. When they wouldn't score, they would get 7 scoring chances, and it just felt like every single time somebody went to the box from the other team, it was almost an automatic goal for Edmonton, and that took them almost all the way to the Stanley Cup. It's going to be big in this series, because I think this is going to be a more difficult series for them this year than it has been the last 3 against LA, and that means that power play, those opportunities, they're hard to come by in playoffs. They're going to be that much more important.
Once again, the LA Kings and Oilers played, a week or 2 ago? There was 13 minor penalties in that game. Something tells me there's not going to be 13 calls in this one, so you're going to have to pounce on your power play opportunities. Final one here, Brett, if you just want to pull it up. So our total keys to victory, we got Stuart Skinner, playoff Bouchard, and the power play dominance. Doobie, this is just game 1. We're going to have, of course, game 3, hopefully an entire playoff run here. My question to you, Bert, can you also pull up Bordzy's bankroll? I don't know if you're a gambling man. Obviously, when you were in the league, you couldn't do it. But now that you're on here, you also got to take a peek at Bordzy's bankroll. I'm going to ask you. So every show I give 3 picks. I bet them separately, responsibly, and then I parlay them together. Which of these 3 picks do you like the most?
Well, see, I was not a hockey bettor, obviously, but like my football bets, I'm a big parlay guy. So I like these all together, and I would do 2 separate parlays. Excuse me. I'd put Connor and Leon together in one, and then I'd put all 3 in the other, just a little extra juice with Skinner, a little bonus, maybe power play. Maybe an empty netter at the end, just a little touch, little assist somewhere in there as an extra bonus, but you don't fully sell out on it. You can still get touched up by Connor and Leon, but I'm a big parlay guy.
I wish you could have seen my producer on the back end right when you said you're a big parlay guy. Heart grew like the green. I knew we were going to be friends. My final question for you, Dubes. Give me a score prediction and an anytime goal scorer. Could be either King, could be an Oiler, but give me a score prediction and a goal scorer for tonight's game.
I'm going to go 4-3 Edmonton. I'm going to keep it out of overtime because it's late here. So I'd like to do post-game show pre-overtime. If we got to get there, we'll get there. But I'm going to go 4-3 Edmonton. And you know what? I'm going to go Zach Hyman. I'm going to change it up. I think Leon's got one in him, but I'm going to go with Zach Hyman.
Zach Hyman, anytime goal, starts with plus 200 tonight. I also think that's an area that could be pounced on Bet365. Doobie, we love you. We appreciate you. Hi, this is Waz.
Hello there. Nice to meet you. How are you doing? I was listening. It's a good time.
We appreciate you. We love you. Excited to have you on Oilers Nation After Dark. So for everybody in the chat, Doobie's going to join start of After Dark. We're going to go 20, 30 minutes, talk about revisit these keys, some big moments, maybe some breakdowns of some key plays. Then I will let Doobie go to bed, and we will close out the rest of the show live from the bar, Devin. It's going to be a good vibe tonight, but Doobs, stay up, get a coffee, get a Red Bull, whatever you got to do. I'll text you during the game, and then we'll talk Oilers Nation After Dark. Have a good one.
Sounds good. We'll see you guys.
Bang. Final thing, just want to give some love to Greta. They're absolutely fantastic. This is going to be the kickoff party of all kickoff parties for the NHL playoffs. Very, very excited. Waz, I appreciate you. Brett, I appreciate you. They couldn't see that Bag Milk was flipping us off the entire time during that Devin Dubnyk interview. He's still doing it. Professionals, baby. I love you all. Score prediction before we head out.
5-0 Edmonton.
Love that. I'm going to say 4-2 for the Edmonton Oilers. Empty netter. Brett?
3-2 Oil, and I'm going with, you know what? Let's go off the board. Vasily Podkolzin, baby.
Bag Milk gave me 5-1 for the Edmonton Oilers. Bang, we'll roll with that. I'm also 3 minutes behind schedule. I've got a party to host that I completely forgot about. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Throw down your courtesy like. Wait, Brett, I also have some super chats. Ooh. We ended with, you guys get any, from Darian, I think I hear some dogs inside of Greta. Roll the accountant. Power play points are a good bet tonight. Cup, yeah.
Cup, yeah.
Ben Bob Stauffer. Hashtag Ben Oilers, Oilers Nation fam. Let's get it. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I got a party to host. We got to get after it. I saw Sadistic Angel put it in the chat. Hopefully, Bordsy can get you into Greta. Drop it outside. It'll get you in. I love you all. Peace out. Talk later.